Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike. We're back at you one more again, live on a Thursday night. Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We got a good show tonight, man. We got Ozzy in the house, so you know it's going down. Gonna be some real good conversations. We'll get to the show here in just a few minutes, man. But first and foremost, make sure y'all show some love to my lovely wife, Takar. You know, Takar is always holding us down, man. She is the glue that holds this thing together, man. She is the engine behind all this. So y'all make sure y'all show us some love in the comments. Don't stop there. Make sure you show the channel some love as well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell so you can get notifications each and every time we drop a video here on the channel. Apologies, man, too. If voice gonna be a little bit off tonight. I am a little bit under the weather, but the show must go on. So definitely apologies for the voice, man. But glad y'all here, man, to hang out with me. Make me feel a little bit better, man. Appreciate y'all. Housekeeping items, man. Make sure you're finding us everywhere you can find us. You can find us on Morph Market. Find us on IG, both pages, Herp Collectors Network. Check us out on Facebook. And then, of course, you can find Clutch Conversations on all major podcasting platforms. So definitely make sure you're checking us out there. When you're checking us out on your favorite podcasting platform, please be sure to follow, rate, and review. It really helps us out. Really appreciate the support here for Clutch Conversations. And a reminder, no episode of Clutch Conversations next Thursday. It's the fourth Thursday of the month. You know, Clutch Conversations, first 3 Thursdays every month, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we off next week. I hope everybody chilling, hanging out with the family, having some good vibes, man. But yeah, appreciate it. Also appreciate these guys, US Art and US Art Florida. The link for both of these organizations is in the description of the video. Make sure you supporting these organizations is helping protect our rights as reptile keepers. Like I said, man, the link for both organizations in the description below. Get your membership, drop a donation, do whatever you can, man. Spread the word for both these organizations. And also, man, spread the word about the Double Clutch Patreon, man. Big family vibes in the Double Clutch Patreon. So make sure you're checking us out, man. Me and the homie Matt from Ebony and Ivory Reptiles. Check us out this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. It's going to be a blast on the show. So definitely come check us out this Saturday. Let's pay some bills, man. Show some love to the sponsors.
Join KINOVA's Patreon today and get access to hundreds of hours of exclusive educational content designed to help you run a successful BallPython business. Get insider information on the latest genetics, hot new combos, and market trends, learning directly from the world's leading BallPython designer. With 5 benefits packed tiers, you may be asking yourself, which tier do I join, Mike? Well, if you're on the fence, I'd recommend the student tier. When I first joined the Patreon almost 4 years ago, this is the tier that I started on, and it's only gotten better since. So don't delay. Join the KINOVA Patreon today.
Art comes in many forms. At Armless Angels, it comes to life.
In life, success doesn't come to you. You go to it. In this game, forward thinking is the key to innovation and staying relevant. Plan your work and work your plan. Lose yourself in the art. Lose yourself with wetter morphs.
Big shout out to the sponsors, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all show them some love, man. Check out what they got. I know Justin Armless Angels. He's got some auctions going right now, so definitely go check that out. You know he always working with some heat, and of course Justin and then Unk from Wettermore Constrictors also working with some heat. So check them out as well. Let's see who we got in the chat tonight. We got the homie Darren. What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate you coming out. We got Mike and Melissa in the building. Appreciate you coming out. Hey, look how they changed the format of how they show the names on the things right now. It's got like the little @ so that's a little bit confusing, but I got you. I remember everybody. I got it. What's good? What's good? Jeff in the building. We got Dwight, the Pie Man in the building. What's good? What's good? All City Serpents. What's good? James, appreciate you coming out. Ro, what's good? Herp Collectors Network representative. Appreciate you coming out. Got Third Coast Constrictors in the building. Howdy. We got Daniel Berry Sports in the building. Appreciate you coming out. What's good? What's good? The More Forge fam in the building. Appreciate you coming out. See who else we got. Thought I saw wife in here pulling double duty. And we're going to stop it right here on the More Forge. We're going to kick the intro, and then we'll be right back with the show.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up.
How's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up?
Not much,
Got a
man.
little
Not
delay
much.
there.
Say again? Oh, yeah, a little bit of delay. Is it good now?
Yep. It's good.
Ooh, how's this week been going?
Good, man. It's going good. Just busy. A lot of real estate stuff towards the end of the year. Just trying to scramble, do some acquisitions, listing some properties, starting to make some more moves down in South Carolina. So,
Okay.
Just been a little busy, but everything good, man. Just here doing my thing.
Busy is good. I know you've been doing some traveling and stuff too, right?
Yeah, man. The trip's been crazy. Trying to do as much as I can while still taking care of business. But yeah, just got back from Patagonia. That was October. The trip was off the charts, man. Just blew my mind.
What was so cool about it?
Dude, it was like we were like deep in the wilderness, man. It was definitely wild country. Just up in the mountains. It was wow, bro. Just like soon as you leave the lodge, you lose all signal. So your phone is just completely dead. So no phone. And we were doing all day hikes. And yeah, it was crazy, man. One day we went to the ranch and they did a barbecue for us, and they were like, dude, they were roasting lamb, like whole lambs, like beef. So we were there, we went for a hike in the morning, and we were eating, and then we went horseback riding, and then we were heading back to the lodge, and we saw a puma with a fresh kill. Yeah, that was nuts, man. Cause
Yeah, that's not something you see
like
every day.
yeah, like we were out there for 12 days, so we're hiking every day, and we're seeing puma tracks, we're seeing puma poop like on the trail, but we're not seeing any pumas. But we know they're there. We're not seeing them. And that last day, man, we saw the guy told us it was a young male, but yo, that cat was big, man, and it just killed a guanaco, which is they're like they look like llamas, but they're just wild animals, and that's primarily what they feed on. And it had just killed a guanaco, and it was like had it like under this bush, and we stopped and we saw it. It stopped. It looked at us, and then it got up and ran. I actually have it. We have it on video.
Oh,
I can send
nice.
you the video. So
Yeah, I
that
would love
was
to see that.
yeah, that was pretty wild, man. And it's just Patagonia is so beautiful. We went first. We went to the Argentina side, and then we went to the Chile side. Torres del Paine. El Chalten was on the Argentina side, and then we went to the Chile side. And it was and like, dude, bro, like some of these hikes, like just the scenery, man, it was just mind-blowingly beautiful. Just being out in nature. The hikes were really hard. Like, we would start out in t-shirts, and then by the time we get to the top, we got, jackets on, fleeces on, like walking through snow. So it was crazy. It's pretty wild. If you ever get a chance to do it, man, I highly recommend you do it. And then the Explorer Lodge, it's just like 5-star like service out in the middle of nowhere. It's like nothing else around. But they take care of everything, man. Food, everything's included. Food, alcohol. They have a really nice bar.
Oh, nice.
And the guides, they provide guides for you to take you out every day. So it was next level, man. I would definitely go back.
Nice. They don't generally have problems like with the pumas and stuff. I imagine they probably do pretty good about staying away from here mostly.
Yeah, they mostly avoid people. I think they were telling us in 2021, a fisherman on the Chilean side, he was out fishing by himself early in the morning, and so yeah, he died.
You broke up a little bit, but it sounded like I could piece together what you said. A puma attacked him.
A fisherman, yeah, he was fishing by himself, and puma got him.
Dang.
So that was the last known death. But dude, it's crazy out there. Like the wind, like you'll be walking, like, or you'll be hiking or whatever. It'll be calm, and the next thing you know, the wind starts blowing, and bro, the wind is crazy, like hurricane force winds out of nowhere. And then one day when we were there, another group, they were taking them to drop them off at a hiking trail. So there were two passenger vans, and one of the vans got blown over. Just the wind blew it over on its side.
That's wild.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So it's an interesting place, but it's definitely it's wild country, man.
So you was there for 12 days?
Yeah. It was like we spent a couple of days in Argentina, and then we went out to, because Patagonia covers Chile and Argentina. It's a lot of land, and like we were seeing glaciers, like it was nuts, man. Like to see hanging glaciers, it was pretty wild, bro. Just next level.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I ain't never seen anything like that. That'll be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, look into it. It's a sick trip. And there's like you could camp if you want to go camping. Like we kind of went the bougie route. We would like do part of you could look up the W Trek or the O Trek. Those are some of the more famous hikes out there. And those hikes, you could do them over like 8 days or 5 days camp. Or you could stay at these huts. They have like these huts that you can rent. But we kind of took the bougie route where we were staying in a 5-star hotel. And then
Press
And
the
then they
easy
would,
button.
yeah, early in the morning, we wake up, they pack us lunch and everything, send us out with the guide. You know, the van will take us out to the trailhead, drop us off, and then pick us up. And then the next day, they'll take us out to the next section, drop us off, pick us up. So, yeah, but it was next level. It was nice to get back to the hotel every night because it was a lot of hiking. So you're really sore,
All right. Yeah.
tired. So it was nice to get back to the lodge and have a beer, have a nice, nice dinner. It was off the hook, man. Like, yeah, Explorer Lodge. I think they have 6 locations in South America, and dude, the hospitality was just next level. Like, we were there. I remember one night they were giving us steaks, ribeye steaks, and you finish your steak, and they're like, "You want another one?" It's like, it's like all you could eat. So dudes were like, "Hell yeah, I'll take another one." So we just eating, drinking, it was a good time. And we put in a lot, dude. We put in like 100 miles of hiking.
Oh,
So
really? That's
it
a lot.
yeah, it was intense, man. And I came home. I got home Tuesday morning, and then Sunday I ran the Marine Corps Marathon, and I was still like, dude, my hip flexors were still tight. It was intense. It was intense.
Yeah, that's some Iron Man stuff for real. Big shout out to Cam.
It was fun, man. It was a fun trip. We had a good time. Everybody had a blast. It was just next level. Good group of guys. It was 12 of us. Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. So while you was out, who was watching the snakes and stuff like that? Because I know that's one thing that's challenging.
Well, my daughters, right now. So I don't really have any employees other than my daughters right now, and then my girlfriend helps me out. That's it. But they were holding down the fort.
Nice.
While I was gone. So, which is good because I love to travel, and that's one of the challenges with the snakes. It's hard to get away for a long time. So, they enable me to travel. So that's pretty cool.
That's dope. Any clutches laid while you were gone?
Nah. I was done hatching. I was in breeding season at that point, so it was a good time of year for me to bounce.
Gotcha.
Yeah, me and the girlfriend did go to Greece in the spring, and we were getting clutches and shit. But I showed my daughter how to pull clutches, so so she's been like, when I travel, she's been pulling clutches. So she's good. They good with the snakes. Yeah,
that's what's up. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, to be able to have the opportunity to get away and just enjoy yourself. Yeah, that's real cool.
Yeah, man, it's important. Yeah, it's important.
I know we was talking behind backstage, and I was kind of like giving you a rundown on how how this past season went for me in terms of like the numbers was about the same, but like my best stuff wasn't going, and so like I was pretty bummed about that. And so you mentioned that you had like kind of like a similar thing going. So talk about that.
Yeah, it was a tough year in terms of production. Sales have just been shit. And I kind of like last year I was doing a lot of travel too, and I kind of took my eyes off of things. So I kind of blame myself. But I talked to several breeders, and it seemed like a lot of people had limited production. Like a lot of stuff didn't go. And I think it just might be a seasonal thing. I remember back in the day, I think it was 2013 or something like that. Everybody had a bad year where they just didn't produce, a lot of their females just didn't go. And then the next year was crazy. The next year I had a lot of stuff going early. I just got a ton of clutches. I got slammed. But yeah, I'm breeding stuff. I'm being very, I'm a lot more dialed in now because I'm pretty much, my manager is gone, so I'm pretty much doing everything again myself, and I think that's a good thing because I'm actually getting excited again. I was kind of losing the passion, so I'm starting to get pumped and excited again, and I'm really focusing on my breeding plans. Really working stuff. I got rid of my boas, which That's a good thing. Um, a local breeder just came and picked up
Everything.
my boa racks. Yeah, I already got rid of the snakes a couple of weeks ago, but I had some racks. He got the racks. So that's just the relief, man. I've been meaning to get rid of the boas for like the past 10 years, you know. It's just so hard, man. Like I was talking to Mike Wilbanks the other day. I'm like, man, if you know, if I ever decided to get out of ball pythons, like, bro, it would take me like 10 years to get out. So yeah, unless somebody bought the whole thing, you know, somebody bought the whole business. But yeah, it's psychological, man. It's tough, bro. It's tough.
But how many boas do you have?
I didn't have a ton of boas, but like, I mean, they weren't producing. I mean, I was just feeding them and taking care of them. They were just a big distraction. And it's funny because like a few years ago, I had hired this business coach, and we went through all of the stuff. Like we were looking at everything, like my real estate, my, you know, the snakes, like looking at all of it. And he was like, you need to get rid of these boas. Like, you know, that was the first thing he said, like, you know, a few minutes into the conversation. And again, I think that's really, really important. I think it's so easy to get distracted, man. There's so many distractions, like with social media and like everything that's going on. And then, you know, you go to a reptile show, you come home with like some green tree pythons or some shit. Like all of that shit's a distraction. I think if you're really serious about breeding ball pythons, you should just focus on that. And I think that's one thing that I did pretty good, but I think I still got distracted. When I opened up the pet shop, that was a distraction. I started buying retics, that was a distraction. So those are some of the things that I look back on, and I see it now as a mistake. And I really, now I'm just like, bro, I am super, super dialed in. Like I'm super dialed in with my health. I'm super dialed in with my real estate. And now I'm getting redialed in to the ball python. So I think I'm in a good place. I think it'll be a good year. And I'm excited. Like the market's been tough, but honestly, I don't give a shit about that, man. I look at what I'm working towards, and that gets me excited. And I know these market cycles, they come and go. So just gonna stay focused on that passion and producing some heat. And I'm really pumped, man. I got some things this year that just really like blew my mind. And I just want to take it. Like, I'm so excited to take it to the next level. So yeah.
Which projects got you most excited?
So that confusion lavender clown got me excited. I'm really, really excited about the hurricane stuff. I produced some, you probably saw them. There was a lot of people questioning whether or not they were clown.
Oh yeah.
That,
you made a follow-up post on that one too.
Yeah, so that I even did some shed testing on some of that stuff.
It was a follow-up email, because I think you sent an email out, I want to say.
I sent out the clutch, like, you know, because people were questioning, oh, these are, you know, those are not clowns. They have eye stripes and shit like that. And dude, I get it, because they look wild. Like,
yeah,
I've never seen a clown combos that look like that. And I just love how the hurricane, the leopard, the special, the cinder, those are the genes that I have in there. I just love how they're coming together. And I just feel like every few years people get distracted with this recessive shit, and they start sleeping on the codon stuff.
Yeah.
And bro, like it for me, like, don't get me wrong, the recessives they're key, but just working recessives and ignoring the codons is like cooking without salt and pepper and spices. So, you know, and now with shed testing. So I think another thing that the market realizes, but I don't think breeders realize yet, but shed testing has essentially leveled the playing field when it comes to co-dominant, incomplete dominant versus recessive. In the past, recessives held their value longer because it took longer to make them, right? And if you did head to head, you had pos heads and stuff like that. All of that is eliminated. So that plane has been leveled. But if you go on morph market and you look at prices, the prices don't reflect the reality.
Yeah.
So I think there's still some correction coming. But again, I mean, like getting caught up and distracted by market moves and, slowdowns and market corrections and stuff like that, that shit is another big distraction. Just focus on the genes, focus on the passion. And usually what happens during these cycles is, the people that are money motivated, they get out, they start selling their collection because once the money dries up, they lose their motivation. But the true hobbyist, the true passionate breeder, they stick it out. Like, it's rough. They don't like it. Yeah, it sucks, but they still rough it out. They're still doing their projects. They still get excited about some of the stuff that they're growing up. They stick it out, and it's those people who stick it out that end up reaping the rewards later when the market turns around. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents anyway on what's going on and what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in just thinking about the market, just kind of thinking about how things are, and really kind of get discouraged about like the business side of things. I mean, obviously we want to make some money, we want to make sales and all that kind of stuff. But if that's your sole motivator, then it's going to be rough during times like this. It's got to be something that truly excites you, because not only it's a lot of work that goes into this too, right?
It's a lot of work. If you don't love it,
and so
if you don't love it, you're gonna, I just think there's always challenges. Like, challenges happen I was in South Carolina the other day, doing some real estate deals, and I was on the plane coming back home, and my daughter called me, and she's like, the carbon monoxide detector is going off. So in the basement. So I'm like, get out of the house, call the fire department. You don't want to play with that shit,
right?
You'll pass out. So I was like, get everybody out of the house. Take the dog out of the house. She obviously couldn't take the snakes, but it's like, just get out of the house and call the fire department. So she called the fire department. They came, they checked, and everything was clear, but the carbon monoxide detector had malfunctioned. So they replaced it and left. So I came home the next day. I was downstairs in the snake room, and my doorbell rings. I go to answer the door. It's animal services. So they're like, yeah, we got a call that you have like a lot of snakes in your basement. So I'm like, this is a Sunday, yo. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So then they like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I own a business. I've been operating in Maryland for, 25 years now. And they're like, well, we see that you don't have a permit. I'm like, I didn't know I needed a permit, And then they're like, well, I'm not sure that you're zoned for this and blah, blah, blah. So, and they were like, can we come in and see? And I'm like, no. You just show up at my house unannounced and want to like come in my house.
And it's a Sunday too, right?
Yeah, man, it's Sunday. Yeah. So I sent them on their way. I told them, hey, look, I'll follow up tomorrow. If I need a permit, I'll apply for a permit. I was like, I have a commercial facility up north in Thurmont, and I have a pet shop license, permit, all that shit for the facility. So I'm like, worst case scenario, I'll just move my shit to my warehouse. So I called the lady the next day. She was like, call the permit office and they'll figure it out. I called her and she was like, yeah, they sent us an email. We're waiting to hear back from the district attorney. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I lawyered up. So I called my attorney, who they do real estate, but they do small business law too.
Okay.
And they're zoning experts in this area. So they reached out and they were trying to say that I'm not zoned. Like I can't even apply for a permit because I'm not properly zoned or whatever. So we did a zoning appeal, went through that process, won that appeal. Because they was trying to say I'm running a kennel, and it's like, this is not a kennel. This is not, everything is contained. I don't have customers like, coming in and out like a store, So I went through that whole process, won the zoning appeal, and then they were like, okay, you got to apply for a pet shop permit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Filled out the paperwork, sent it in, and then I didn't hear anything. And then yesterday they just show up. Like I'm on the phone doing some real estate deals. They just show up at my door. And so I'm like, we're here for the inspection. I'm like, you guys didn't call, like make an appointment? Like they were like, no, we do. It's unannounced when we do inspections. So I'm like, all right, whatever, come on in. And he went downstairs and I keep my shit spotless. So yeah, it was, everything was smooth. They came in, they were like,
were they afraid of snakes?
The guy was, the other lady that was with him, she was a little more chill about it, but he was blown away by them. Like I was showing them some badass snakes and they were just like, they were like, this is cool as shit. So I passed. I had, everything was in order. They were just checking if the animals were, they want to see you have a quarantine space. But I've been at this property for going on 10 years now. I had no clue. And when they showed me the section where, they said I need a permit, it didn't even sound like it applied to me. But I was like, whatever, like, I operate on the up and up, and
do you have an
I need to
idea
do to be legit. What's that?
Do you have any idea of how they found out that you had snakes?
The fire. So when the fire department came to check the carbon monoxide.
Oh, okay.
One of the firemen called them. It's like,
that's
so
wild.
Yeah. I guess they saw the snakes and look like, what the fuck? Like, some people don't like snakes, and I get it. I mean, who has hundreds of snakes in their basement? So it worked out in the end. But yeah, it's just like for weeks that was like up in the air. I was like, man, do I have to move my collection? Like I was ready to move, and I'm like, my youngest daughter is still in high school, so I wasn't trying to, my mom, I have a 92-year-old mom. She's like 10 minutes from me. Like we're always checking on her, taking her food and shit like that. I was like, fuck, I don't want to have to move the collection again, and just it's just, but stuff like that happens all the time, man. And if you're not 100% committed, you're gonna quit. You're gonna get out. Like there's always gonna be curveballs. There's always gonna be challenges, and so if you don't love this shit, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many times over the years where I had to deal with challenges like that and had to move my collection. There's always challenges, so it's part of it.
Earlier you mentioned that you was getting a little bit burnt out and kind of losing some of the passion. What do you think was feeding into that?
Yeah, I was getting burned out because I was just trying to be a people pleaser, and then you just had the Orange Dream kind of blew up. And then everybody was producing Orange Dream. Everybody was buying Orange Dreams, and everybody was producing Orange Dreams, and everybody wanted help with IDing their snakes. Like I was just getting slammed. And bro, like all my friends were snake people. All my shirts in my dresser were snake shirts. Like I was doing, it was just 24/7 snakes. And it just kind of overwhelmed me, man. It just took over my life. And I just started getting burned out. And that's when I kind of took a step back. I stopped doing the shows. I just stopped, trying to ID everybody's snake. Cause you ID a clutch for one person, they're like, yo, can you help me with this clutch? You help me with that clutch. Then they're going to send you the second clutch, the third clutch, the fourth clutch. And then when you like, yo, bro, like I can't anymore, then they get mad at you. It's like so you can't win. And then, I for a long time, I had my job. I had my family. Me and my lady split, so I was playing single dad. I was, trying to spend time with my kids, run the business, work. I was just doing too much. So in 2017, I quit my job. I started making moves, and now I'm just like, I took a step back. I stopped doing shows. I stopped. I just politely, people ask me, I'm like, look, man, I can't ID all your snakes. I'll try to help you like with the first clutch, but after that, like you need to, learn. And now we have shed testing. I'm like, yo, just shed test your stuff. Like just shed test, I still help people out here or there, but it was getting to the point where it was consuming my day. And then I had my own collection to take care of, and I had my own snakes to try to figure out like ID. Because that's a challenge. Anybody who's been doing this for a minute know that it's a challenge.
Especially working with cutting edge stuff like you.
There's a lot of guesswork, and I've been doing it 25 years, and I still make mistakes. And I just started using Charlie, shedtesting.com, Phenome.
Yeah, that's a question I had for you. So talk about that a little bit, but kind of set the stage for everybody, because I don't know if everyone who's listening, maybe they didn't know about your like stance on shed testing originally. So talk about kind of like how you thought about it originally and now the evolution to where you are now.
Yeah, so initially I knew the technology was sound. I used to work in biotech. I used to work in the lab. I used to be a quality assurance compliance officer. So, I'm familiar with the technology. I'm familiar with the science, but I'm also familiar with the potential pitfalls, especially as a compliance guy. I was a quality assurance guy. So that's what we did. We looked for, and we challenged like test results and stuff like that, compliance issues, sample handling, chain of custody. Like I know, like I've seen mistakes happening in, vaccine producing facilities that are being injected into humans. So I knew when it started that there was, early on that there was going to be some mistakes and there was going to be some questionable data. There was going to be issues with sample handling, chain of custody, etc. And tell me if I was wrong. I mean, there was some mishaps, and people rushing to, start testing and getting tests out before the tests were actually validated and proven to be reliable. So for me, I was a little hesitant. I wanted to take a wait and see approach. I wanted to wait a couple of years to see how things played out. That was one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is I'm old school. So I don't use an ultrasound. I raise pos heads up and I'll breed and prove a pos head the old fashioned way. So I guess it was a little bit of that stubborn old guy who doesn't want to change his ways. And I'm like, I felt like people are cheating. Like, I'm like, oh, this shit is weak. Like, you just test the pos head right away and know. So there was that aspect of it, that was just me being closed-minded. Change is inevitable. And you have to adapt and go along with the flow and, take advantage of technology when it presents itself. So, I admit that, but I also knew that it would impact prices, and it would impact the market. And I think that's definitely playing out. But again, it's, that's reality. Change is inevitable. And there's some positives to it, and there's some negatives. And I've been watching and just talking to people and figuring out, and I've heard a lot of good things about Charlie and the crew. And, you know, like I've heard people say, dude, I bought this snake and it was tested and then it didn't prove out. And, so I've heard all those stories. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus or call out any names, but, shit happened. And I really never heard that about Charlie at ShedTesting.com. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they had some mishaps, but I haven't heard of any. And,
Yeah, Charlie is a solid
Yeah.
dude, and that was one of the things that's important to him based on like my conversations with him, is that he like really took the time to do the due diligence. So
Yeah.
those kind of missteps and mishaps, at least it would be mitigated, right? The risk of it would be mitigated, right? Just to your point earlier, like things happen, right? Everything's not going to be 100% perfect, but there are also steps
Yeah.
you can take to mitigate the risk of things happen. And that's, I think, one of the places where Charlie set himself apart.
Yep. So, so I started sending them a ton of stuff, and and they validated like a lot of stuff, because I was doing some batch testing where I was just testing batches of 10 genes or whatever. So there was plenty of opportunity for them to fuck up, but everything was spot on. So I'm just confident in their test results. So now I'm starting to do that. But again, I feel like, whatever we sell, if it's shed test, that we're going to be super transparent about that. I think when people are making purchases, they should know, is this a 100% het, or is this a shed test verified het?
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. And it's actually, I'm having fun with it now. So it's pretty interesting, and it's actually influencing some of my breeding decisions.
Oh, you read my mind, because that was my next question.
Yeah. So again, it's going to expedite certain projects. And again, that's why it may impact pricing. Because again, like some of these multi-recessive projects are going to be a lot easier to make, especially if you think about it and be very strategic about it. You can do some cool shit. So I'm just having fun with it, man. I'm at the point in my career where my breeding career, where I'm getting back to where it's like where it originated, where I'm doing this primarily for fun. Like I even entertained selling the business. Earlier this year, I was talking to a couple of people. I'm at a stage in my life where, I could walk away from it and be okay financially, but I think I would miss it. So right now, I'm trying to take care of my customers. I'm just trying to get back to what like really excited me about this is, like being excited about what you're producing, but also hooking people up and sending people shit that just, brings them joy, and watching other people have success and make a little money and enjoy what they're doing. I think that's what it comes down to. That's what it's all about. So I'm just trying to get back to the fundamentals, stay small enough so that it doesn't burn me out. And now I think I have a nice balance with what I do. Like my life is not all snakes. I take the time to travel. I work out every day. We were talking about that, the pre-show. I actually enjoy working out. I look forward to it. It helps me de-stress, clear my mind. I'm doing the real estate. I love the real estate. I mean, I actually enjoy it. I self-manage my properties, so I like taking care of my tenants. I treat my tenants with respect. I have great tenants. Yeah, I have great relationships with my lenders. Just it's pretty cool. I love it. Contractors, like, it's pretty badass. And hopefully, nah, dude. I stopped watching the Raiders. I stopped watching football. I stopped watching football because I'll tell you, and I think I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this before in previous podcasts where I started doing something called an energy audit, where I would take my journal and I would just track things, like draw a line down a page, and then on one side, people, activities, or things or tasks, whatever, that drain you, and things that excite you, light you up, get you pumped. And bro, football was consistently on the left. Like I would dedicate my entire Sunday to watching football, and dude, by the end of the day, I'd just be pissed off, angry. And then finally I was like, yo, why am I subjecting myself to this torture? And it's funny, me and Tom Barnhart were talking the other day, and he was texting me on a Sunday. He was like, you know what? You're right, man. Oh, what the fuck? Because the Raiders suck, man. It's just disappointment every fucking Sunday, man. It's just like
that's how I am with the Gators. Like, I'm a big Florida Gator fan, especially football.
Yeah.
And they just stress me out. Like, they stress me out.
I'll watch sports, but like I'm not gonna sit around and watch a Raider game, on a Sunday and block out my Sunday. I'd rather do something productive with that day. And but I'll watch like a game, especially if it's two teams that I'm not, that I don't have like a connection to. I love watching sports, but yeah, I don't do it all the time anymore, man. I had to take a step back. And again, it's crazy. Like, if you do that energy audit, like and if you start cutting out the negativity, like, your happiness level is going to go through the fucking roof. Because if you're just doing things that excite you and get you pumped, make you feel good, and you're just interacting with people that elevate you, make you feel good, make you feel positive, then like you'll just be like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's challenges that come every day, but if you're very deliberate about it, you'll just be like operating up here the entire time, and that's gonna result in you being healthier, happier, more productive, wealthier. Everything just starts to fall into place.
Yeah, that's I need to reduce some of the time that I'm allocating to watching Florida football, and they have me real stressed out. And like, they're the type of team, especially this year, where most games it won't be a blowout. Like, they'll keep you invested into the last probably 3 minutes of the game,
and then some dumb shit. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like, man, I could have stopped watching this like 2 hours ago, man.
Yeah,
now it's some dumb shit. It's got me stressed out. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
And if you like, yeah, some people could watch it and not get triggered, but I used to, I'd be breaking shit. Like, I would get mad, and I'm like, this shit is not healthy.
I'd be mad, man. And I'm the type, I'll watch the game, watch the loss, then listen to like 6 podcasts that talk about the loss. It's like I just gotta just wallow in the misery.
Yeah, so dude is coaching.
Oh, so yeah, coach.
There's a coach on here, been coaching for 35 years. And I think that's different, because now when you're coaching, you have an opportunity to shape, these young men or women or whatever. So you can have a real positive influence on young people, and teach them, the art of, giving 100% effort. Sports are amazing. So that's I love sports. I don't know, man. I was just getting sick every Sunday, and I was like, man, I can't sleep. I'm all like stressed out. Yeah, it's not worth it. So yeah, that's me with the Raiders. I mean, still love the Raiders, but yeah, I had to stop.
Hey, I'm gonna take a real quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, no doubt.
Known for his innovative approach to genetic shed testing and top-quality ball pythons, Grey Rider Reptiles also excels in exceptional customer service and responsiveness. With a quick turnaround time, Charlie ensures you get the service you want and need. Visit shedtesting.com to explore his offerings and experience the best in the business. Don't miss out. Head to shedtesting.com today and unlock the power of your breeding projects.
Peace and love, family. We invite you into the heart of our serenity, Ancestral Royal Pythons. At Ancestral Royal Pythons, we're not just breeders, we're nurturers of love and growth. Each of our high-end ball pythons is a tribute to the grandeur of the natural world and our dedication to quality. Reach out today and bring one of our creations into your home. This is Ancestral Royal Pythons. Your journey begins here.
Passion. Some are born with it, others chase it their whole lives. At MCBR, animals aren't just a business, they're our legacy. Driven by obsession, defined by quality. At MCBR, the passion drives us, the quality defines us. Our motto is simple: live your dream. For years, he worked in silence, shaping projects few could even imagine. A figure once hidden is now stepping into the light. The vault is opened, the path is revealed. At the center of it all, Barry Swope. Elusive Propagations. From the shadows to the spotlight, the vision is undeniable. Hypo Puzzle King!
Appreciate the sponsors. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, so earlier we was talking a little bit about shed testing. You talked about the potential impact on pricing. So break that down a little bit for us. I know this might be kind of how I see it is, and I know this might be oversimplifying things. It's obviously oversimplifying things, but really, like, generally speaking, like, the recessives tend to carry like a little bit more value than the codoms, like, generally speaking. I know it's a lot of nuance in there and things of that nature and stuff like that. Do you see more of a convergence? Like, how do you see shed testing impacting?
Well, I feel like the main difference, you know, between the two is, like, if you take an orange dream and and breed it to an orange dream, you can immediately pick out the heads. Obviously, you can pick out the supers too. And then when you do a head-to-head breeding, you can only pick out visuals. And then you can differentiate the heads from the normals. And that was the dilemma. So it took longer to figure all of that out, to raise that stuff up and to figure out what's head and what's not head. So it gave value to the visual, because if you had the visual, now you breed the visual homozygous recessive trait, and with certainty that everything is going to be 100% head. And even better, if you breed that visual to another visual, it's all visual. So that added value to the visuals. Now, with shed testing, like, say you want to get into a project, Axanthic, Desert Ghost Pied. You can go out and drop whatever 10 grand on a triple recessive, and just jump ahead a few years. But now you could go out and get a triple head male for like $100 instead of dropping 10 grand. And you can breed that male to an Axanthic Pied, for instance. And then you could take the exantic pieds from that clutch, the pieds from that clutch, the exantics from that clutch, and you can test them and see which ones are het desert ghosts. So now that it's a game changer, because it makes it a lot easier to reproduce the homozygous recessive. So you don't have to worry about pos hets and stuff like that. And indirectly, it devalues
The visual,
because it's not going to take me 8 years to start with double hets to make it. Like, I can get there a lot sooner through the shed testing. The other thing too is, with the codoms, in a lot of cases, like some of the codoms, they're just prettier. Like, you look at some of the stuff that's out there. Like, if you take somebody who doesn't know anything about genetics and you just show them some snakes, they're gonna pick out a lot of codoms. They're gonna be like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is real pretty. But a lot of it is, again, the recessives were harder to replicate, harder to produce, so people couldn't mass produce them and crank them out. Therefore, they were worth more. And I don't think that's the case anymore. And I don't think people have quite figured that out yet. I think the market is kind of figuring it out. All right, I'll give you an example. When the shed testing started, I was selling Desert Ghost puzzles, were selling for like $20K. And Desert Ghost head puzzles were selling for like $7K. And then one day I was just on Morph Market and I saw Desert Ghost head puzzles for $3K. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, overnight, 3,000? Like, I'm like, what's going on with that? It was like 4,000 less than what I was listing it for. And when I looked into it, I realized that they were doing shed testing. So these were Desert Ghost pos hets that tested for puzzle. And I guess people weren't like 100% confident in the shed testing at that point. So I guess that influenced some of the pricing, but that immediately put pressure on me to drop my prices from $7,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think is an example, and I'm sure there's other stuff. I haven't been spending a ton of time studying it, but I'm sure that there are other examples like that. But I just feel like, yeah, like even now, like I'm looking at my breedings and I'm doing some things that are just gonna it's gonna be a lot quicker because I know I could shed test it and figure out what's het with some of these projects. So it's giving me a lot more versatility in my pairings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pairings that I would not normally do, but now I know I could do it, and stack some genes and
shed test and figure out what you're working with.
Yeah. But I caution people, and I've cautioned people for years about this, is like, don't sleep on the codom stuff, because don't get me wrong, work the recessives, but also make sure you're not sleeping on the codom stuff and the dominant stuff, because that that stuff mixed in is going to help you produce some real crazy looking snakes. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for.
100%. Especially when you get into supers too, and the ALS stuff. As far as the codoms, like super, like super OD, stuff like that, and then also like the elite stuff, like chocolate spot nose and combos like that. Those animals are powerful too, and mathematically, it works the same as a recessive.
Technically, yeah. So you could do you could like crank out some like crazy stuff. And like those crazy clowns that I produce, like they just have all of these codom genes. stacking all these codon genes. It's pretty cool when they come together, and especially if you're paying attention and you're looking at pattern influencers and stacking a bunch of pattern influencers together, it can result in some really wacky shit. Like you can get some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, man, just over here having fun with it. And I think some of it is it's easy to get caught up in the ego, chasing high end. Like I wanna like crank out some of these because they're listed for 40,000 or whatever. But like, does that shit really excite you? Like, are you producing stuff that really excites you, really pumps you up? That's really gonna shock the world, or is it just gonna be like, the hardcore Herp, snake guys that are going to be able to look at it and appreciate it for what it is, because it's a quad recessive or whatever. So right now I'm trying to stack I'm trying to get a bunch of dominant genes into my quad project. Like I have the hypo ultramel clown pied female. I'm trying to get some dominant genes in there. Like I don't even have Orange Dream in that project yet. Actually, I do. Take that back. But I think once I get like some Super Orange Dream and Enchi and Red Stripe like mixed in there, some Hurricane, like that project is gonna be next level. So
Speaking
it's cool
of
now, but yeah.
Speaking of Orange Dream and the shed testing, so high OD test is like regular OD, right? Like shed testing wise. So do you think that there's another gene at play? Do you think like there's some polygenic stuff going on with the high OD stuff? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I honestly don't know, but I've always felt like the high intensity OD was just a version of Orange Dream. I felt like the Orange Dream gene started to drift into multiple different directions, like the high intensity, the deep orange. I think Scrambler is an Orange Dream. I don't know. I mean, Mark and
You say you think Scrambler is an Orange Dream, like a variation of
I'm
Orange
not
Dream?
seeing like me personally, I'm not seeing a Scrambler morph by itself personally. Maybe I'm missing it. I know Mark thinks that it's a separate gene entirely. I know I think Chris thinks it's a separate gene too.
Yeah.
So I see it, but I don't know, man. I think the Orange Dream just drifts. I always said that the high intensity was the Orange Dream. It's just a tweaked version of the Orange Dream. And the other problem with testing too, that these guys never, like, nobody ever spoke to me before they started doing the testing. If they spoke to me, I would have immediately told them that for years I was selling high intensity as Orange Dream. So there's people out there with stuff that's labeled as Orange Dream that's high intensity.
That's a good point.
So it's the shit is all mixed up. So I don't know what approach they took to testing sheds, but I think you just have to test a bunch of Orange Dream animals and start looking for a differentiator. But I don't think it's going to be a complete different allele. I think it's the same allele. And whether it's polygenic or not, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand the genetics that well. I just know that the original Orange Dream started out as a banded snake. And then over time, it started to drift. And then I was getting Orange Dreams with like black lines down the belly. The high intensity Orange Dream, the only reason that I labeled that as high intensity and realized that it was something different, it all originated with one female.
Mm-hmm.
And That female, she was a yellow belly dream bee. She was freaking insane. And that was before she actually gave me my first super orange dream clutch. So the first super orange dreams that were produced were all high intensity. At the time, I had no clue. I had no clue. So they were normal orange dream and they were high intensity. So people I sold the super to Brian Sharp. I sold one of the supers to Mark. I kept the other supers. And so for years, those guys started producing orange dreams from those supers, and half the clutch should have been high intensity, half should have been normal orange dream. They were selling them. And the reason I started to catch on, I mean, I was keeping the prettiest ones, so I was keeping a lot of the high intensity stuff. I didn't realize it at the time. I was just keeping them because they were prettier out of the clutch. And then we started getting into situations where I was selling a super. Turned out it wasn't a super, but it looked like a super. Like you put it next to a super orange dream, and it looked like a super orange dream, but it was a single gene. And that's how I started to figure it out. So there's that. The waters are so muddy when it comes to high intensity. And then the gene, like till this day, the gene continues to drift and do weird shit. So, you know, I don't know. It's funny because, you know, I talked to Charlie. I'm like, yo, why don't you have this gene? Why don't you have this gene? He was like, we're not comfortable yet. So they're what I like about Charlie and the crew is that he's not gonna rush to put a test out until he's 100% confident. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
100%. Yeah. Like when I see some of the animals, like with the high intensity OD, like I see the difference. And so I can definitely see like why you would say, hey, this is different. So I was wondering what your thoughts were considering like the testing results. But I didn't even like think about the fact that for years and years and years you were selling high ODs as regular OD. Like that never even crossed my mind. That's a great point.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, just like like I was getting emails. I was getting emails where I sold, like, you know, I forgot, I sold somebody a black pastel clown combo.
Uh-huh.
And bro, it's a black pastel clown combo. So it was black pastel. And he's like, yo, I shed tested it. It's not black pastel. And I'm like, what? Like, so I remember being at Ian's and like black pastels coming in like in a shipment, like 4 or 5. I actually was there with Tom when he picked out the Barnhart line black pastel. That was a wild caught right out of Africa. We were going through a bin with like 6 or 7 black pastels, all just in from Africa, and they all look different. So I knew there was a lot of different bloodlines. So now they've isolated Barnhart.
And I think there's some on top of that, like on top of like regular black pastel and Barnhart black pastel. I think there's other black pastels too.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds, dude. And then the cinnamons and the, you know, so there's a lot of different varieties. Same thing with hypo. So to do a test and then to come out and say this test is for black pastel without considering the fact that there are so many different bloodlines of black pastel, I think was a mistake. So this, again, it's just another example of, you know, shit like that was happening, and I was just, you know, it shook my confidence in the whole shed testing thing. But you got to think about this stuff, and like the whole thing with the Desert Ghost being polygenic, you know, I was shocked. I was like, am I crazy? Because I was like the only one saying no. I was like, no, this shit's recessive. It's not polygenic. Everybody was just like buying into it.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was wild. I'm like, dude, we've been breeding Desert Ghosts for 20 years. What are you guys talking about? Like, this shit's recessive. Like, I've never bred DG to DG and got normals. Never, ever. Like, and I've done multiple breedings. So again, like you gotta take all of the facts into consideration when you're analyzing that data. So the science is 100%. It's the science is on point. It's the data interpretation and the sample handling where you can fuck up. So you got to be careful with this shit testing stuff. But I think these guys are figuring it out. So I feel like they're figuring out. They're getting better. They're correcting their mistakes. They're figuring it out. So I think the future of shed testing is going to be more and more reliable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think initially it was a little rocky, and that could be expected, like with new technology. So
the new tech, new industry per se. So yeah, for sure.
And as far as the high intensity stuff goes, like fuck, I don't know. I don't think it's another gene. That's always been the position because I felt like you could still, breed them together and still get super. So I never thought it was like a separate gene. I just thought it was a unique, and it started with that one female, like it. So I'm assuming it was some type of random mutation with that one female.
Yeah, this is a good way to put it. I never really called it this, but that's really kind of what I was getting at. Steven got a comment here. And he's agreeing with Coach about like the kicker genes that is close enough to it is close enough to like the OD gene, so it kind of like follow it, similar to like how like banana and the sex gene do, and so that's why you see it with the OD stuff a lot.
Yeah. I think some genes. I honestly think the orange dream gene is just prone to like mutation. It seems to continuously drift over the years, and just
it's pretty cool.
It's a cool ass gene. Like I'm not, I know I'm biased, but holy shit! Like I mean, I've been working this gene for years, and it's still like every year I'm like, I produce something, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like this is badass. Like that super.
Think about like all the stuff that's coming from like your stock too, like all of it. Like the high OD, the deep OD, the scrambler stuff, like all that stuff originated from your stock.
That one female. Yeah, from that one female. So I think there's example, like some of the stuff Chris Herndon is producing is like shit he's producing is like badass, and he's being real selective. Like he'll go out and he'll hunt down some like crazy looking orange dream, and he'll bring it into his collection. And he was buying up a lot of the high intensity stuff when I started selling it. Like he was just looking for quality, and to see like some of the shit that he's cranking out, those animals are fucking they're amazing. And just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, this the BallPython genome is fascinating. It's fascinating.
So earlier you had mentioned high end, and a few weeks back, me and Matt had a show talking about kind of like what is high end, like what does that really mean? So in your mind, like what is high end to you? Like is it based on like price? Is it based on the rarity of the genetics? Like what's high end?
So high end is I'm not gonna sell it for less than this. Because look. Here's okay. I'll tell you. Here's the difference between me and a lot of other guys. I would go to a show, and I would pick up a $20,000 snake, and I would also pick up a $250 snake because I like the way it looks, and it triggers something in my head. Like when I got into the red stripe, I think I paid like $600 for the red stripe. I mean, at that time I had plenty of money. Like I could have went out and got, but a lot of it sometimes, I don't know. I think we get caught up I'm not trying to be judgmental. Cause I've done it too in the past, you get caught up in like, I'm going to get this big ticket item, you know what I mean? And it's, I don't know if it's an ego thing or, you feel like you need it or whatever. High end to me is if I produce something and one, I don't want to sell it, to me, that's high end. Like I've had people like that Super Orange Dream, his Xanthic Desert Ghost Pied. I'm not going to sell that. Like, You know what I mean? Like that's those special hurricane cinder animals. I'm not selling them. I got two males. I'm like, I'm not selling those. I'm keeping those, yo. I see something like this shit is getting me excited. Like, I don't care if it's worth $1,200. Like, I don't care. Like, so it's for me personally, and don't get me wrong, like I'm a businessman and I understand the value of a dollar. So, if you want to, produce like, a ton of high-end stuff and make millions of dollars, I totally respect that. But for me, that's just not what gets me excited. So yeah, high-end for me is something that a breeder values so much that he's not going to get rid of it. He's not going to sell it. Or if he does or she does, it's going to be for a lot of money. So to me, high-end is something that's valued.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And so we talked a little bit about the market earlier today. And I want to talk about buyers a little bit. Like, so do you feel like today's buyers think differently than buyers did like a few years ago? Like, and when I say buyer, I'm not necessarily talking about people who just kind of getting in and so they just like learning their way around, but like somebody who been in like maybe let's not put a time limit on it, but just different than it was back in the day. Like, you feel like folks kind of more like on game as far as like the business aspect side of things and kind of how they should be thinking about projects, because there's so much more information out there. So do you feel like today's buyers are different than buyers like from a few years back?
Yeah, I think today's buyers are completely spoiled, strictly from a hobby standpoint, because man, you could like, dude, like if my tubs weren't all full downstairs, like I would have a field day. Like I would have I've fantasized sometimes about like just starting from scratch, just being able to clear the slate. And if I could start from scratch today, I think I could produce some killer shit, because I look on Morph Market and dude, there are animals like stacked with crazy genes. The potential to like produce cool shit is so insane. Like there's stuff out there, and like at every price point, even if you don't have a lot of money, you could produce some serious heat. And now you have the genetic, you got the shed testing, and you just got these multi-gene animals. People are giving shit away on auctions. Like so I think people are spoiled. They don't realize the opportunity that's in front of them. Some people do. But I think what's changed, like the market, where the market is now, I've seen this happen in the past. Like, so it's different, but it's the same. And people are not buying like before, because people lack confidence in the long-term sustainability of the market. And that is a common theme whenever you have a downturn or you have a market correction. Like, bro, you can't expect to make 6,000% on your investment indefinitely. Like, it's just not. Like, you can still make money in this market if you're producing like really unique stuff. Like, I have stuff that sold right away, like this year, even though the market is slow. I have stuff in my collection right now that I held back that I could sell right away. So in any market, if you produce something that's highly desirable and you price it right, it's going to sell. And there's always somebody out there that has a lot of money.
And there's some insane deals out there right now.
Yeah, there's some really, really good deals. So it's like right now is an ideal time to be building a collection. It doesn't get better than this. And then if you're starting out now, and then in 2 or 3 years when you start producing, we're back into a bull market, then you're going to be sitting pretty. This is the best time to get in. But most people get in during the top of the market. That's when people rush in.
Yeah, that's when it's hot. That's when it's flashy.
Right?
And the
right?
third.
Like now is the best time. It's the best time to build a collection. But when were all of these big dogs, these big whales that were coming in and dropping 300 and 400 grand? When were they coming in? They were coming in during the height of the pandemic, like
Yeah.
2021, right? The
Yeah.
first half of 22 was still good, and then boom,
They just start
the
tapering off.
you know once that supply exceeds the demand, and then once people start panicking, and then once these prices start dropping, like people lose confidence. But I will tell you this, I mean, look at all these people that are logged in. The passion for the industry is still 100% strong. That never
Hell yeah.
died,
Hell yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
The excitement for the hobby is still there. The market's just soft right now. This too shall pass.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's like macroeconomic factors too, like that
Yep.
affect the folks at kind of like that foundational level, which is really the pet buyers, right? Because like they're putting money, they're buying, they're spending money, then it's putting money into those breeders' pockets, and then they're going to they're shopping with other breeders so they can progress their projects, and it's a cycle, right? And so
Yep.
like
And
all that kind
yeah,
go ahead.
once all that lower end stuff starts to sell again really, really fast, that's when the market is starting to turn. And then like once the $1,000 snakes, $500 snake, $2,000 snakes start flying, eventually then you're going to start to see the $20,000, $25,000 snakes selling, because it's the breeders who are producing that lower end shit. They start making the money. They start feeling confident again, and then they go out to build their collection. They're going to go drop some money on the higher end stuff. So it always starts with the lower dollar stuff once that stuff starts picking up. And it's funny because this year, I've like the lower dollar wholesale stuff last year, it just stopped selling. Like the pet shop stopped buying. Like nobody wanted the low dollar stuff.
Yeah.
And I sent a box to like one of my pet shop guys. I was like, bro, look, I'll just send it to you for free. And, and of course he took it. But lately what these guys are doing, these mystery bags, $100 a bag, and they're selling all that shit. Like,
Where they doing it
at the reptile shows.
Oh, at the reptile shows?
Yeah, they do these mystery bags. So all that stuff now, all of a sudden, they're buying all that shit from like, you got any wholesale? They just buy it all. And they do these mystery bags, and $100 a bag, and if you put a couple of cool higher end animals in there, people just get hooked. They keep coming back. People like to gamble. People like to gamble,
Yeah.
So there's it's like a scratch off or something. So, they've been doing really, really well with that stuff. And that's basically how it starts. The lower end stuff starts to sell, and then it picks back up, and then and then a lot of guys start selling their collections. Some people just stop breeding, or they breed less. So then, I think next summer there's going to be limited supply on the market.
You think so? So Dave made a video. I think it was earlier this week, or maybe it was last week. But essentially, he was speaking to that in terms of he feels like people should stop breeding, right? So you can reduce the supply, or at least cut back on breeding. We was talking about it in one of our chat groups. Like, do you feel like people across the board would do that, at a significant level? I feel like
at some point you don't have a choice. I mean, you're not, that's just the market taking care of itself. Because if the shit is not selling, if you still have a bunch of tubs that are full from last year, you're not going to be pairing a ton of stuff the following year. So eventually that's what happens. I mean, because rodents aren't getting any cheaper. So it's expensive. And then with the prices dropping too, just the prices are not, even if you do sell, the prices are just not enough to cover your overhead. And it gets to the point to where I'm not even gonna pair this shit. And I've done that. I had females that I won't pair them because the stuff is so cheap, it's just not even worth the time and effort and the space. I'm just focusing on being like, very deliberate with what I'm pairing. But yeah, a lot of people will get out. Like a lot of people who especially guys who mass produce. Like if you produce thousands of babies going into a crash, that's not a good place to be.
Nah.
Because now you got to feed those babies, and you probably have employees. You got to pay your employees, and then those babies are just sitting. Like you're not going to breed the following year, or if you do, you're going to breed a lot less.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just wondered if people would even sit out. Like I feel like some people are more apt or more prone to sit out than others because it's going to be kind of like space dependent, overhead dependent, kind of like how deep your pockets is. Just kind of like there's a lot of factors that determine like how much you can kind of like take on and how much risk you can take. But I do feel like it's a supply issue, too, like a big supply issue. It's like way more ball pythons out there than there's demand for right now. And so that's definitely going to be a big part of kind of getting us back to a up market or a bull market is reducing some of that supply. And obviously demand, we want demand to increase too. And hopefully we can bring in some people too.
And then the other thing too is like, when everybody starts producing the same thing, shit just gets boring. Like, and once people get bored, they're like, everybody's cranking out whatever combination. They all start to look the same. And then people just lose excitement, for those acquisitions. So you got to get creative. And then once you get creative and you start cranking out some shit that like just blow people's mind, that will stimulate the hobby and the hobby will come back. So again, being very selective, trying to get creative with producing some new combos and not just everybody chasing the same, the same hot combo. After a couple of years, like that shit's everywhere and people just get bored and just are really uninterested in buying that stuff. So
yeah. So you talked about earlier, like you thought about like selling off more stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely downsizing. I definitely sold some females. And like I said, I got rid of the boas. But I try to get it to where so what happened was I was taking a step away from it. I had a manager who was doing a lot of cleaning and feeding, and I find every time that I do that, I start to lose my passion for it. And so I had to let him go earlier this year, and I got back to having to work with the animals myself. And whenever I do that, like it reignites my passion. So I think it's real important for me personally to have that hands-on interaction with the snakes. Because when I do that, I don't know, it just brings me back to my origins, I guess. That's how I got to where I'm at. And again, that's what brings me enjoyment. And I think that's where I get creative. That's where I'm looking at the snakes, and that's where I get really good ideas as far as pairings go. And that's when I see like some of the animals growing up, like it just gets me excited. It gets me pumped about the potential of what I'm going to be doing in the future. So that's what I think I need to do. So I'm back to hobby level, and I think this is where I want to keep it, man, for sure.
So how many animals clutches is that for you roundabout?
Probably somewhere around 65, 70 clutches.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just powerhouse, like really cool shit. And again, the past couple of years, we were just pairing stuff because we had it here because it wasn't selling. I want to get away from that. I want to be very deliberate about what I'm pairing, trying to produce a specific combo.
Gotcha.
So,
Are you gonna be pushing that Cinder stuff this year, this coming season?
oh yeah, man. I was pretty excited about that. So yeah, Cinder, yeah, the hurricane stuff. Um, definitely, I really like that stuff. I think that stuff's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we're doing some of the other stuff. So I'm doing some cool puzzle stuff. I really love my Super Orange Dream, Super Strike puzzle. It's one of my favorite snakes. The confusion stuff that produces really orange snakes. Confusion, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Leopard stuff, or even with fire, like it really pops. And then I really love that Grail that I produce. So I'm going to continue to work that project. And it's just stuff that excites me. The Super Orange Dream, Axanthic Desert Ghost Pied stuff, that stuff is sick. I'm trying to work Blackhead into it. So if I could do Super Blackhead, I have a Blackhead puzzle. Pretty excited about that. I'm trying to work that into my Axanthic Desert Ghost puzzle project. So I think a Super Blackhead, Axanthic Desert Ghost puzzle, it's gonna be sick.
How you feeling about the granite type stuff that's out there, like the Malice, the Cosmos, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I've been seeing some of it. I haven't picked up anything new, man. I don't know. I don't know what's the last gene I picked up. Like I'm working some paint clown stuff, but
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Matt gonna love to hear that.
Yeah. I love paint. I love the way paint interacts with Orange Dream. So I've been quietly working some paint projects. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, I did see some Cosmo, and it was something else. Mark Mandick has the Jag stuff. I think that's cool. So I might get out there and pick up some G's. But right now I'm just downsizing and not really shopping a ton.
Gotcha.
I got some Monsoon stuff last year. I guess that's a new gene that I added.
Okay.
So I'm playing around with some of that Monsoon stuff.
So Josh from MCBR, he got that Inchy Stranger Hypo Clown, this hit DG. I don't know if you've seen that. It's on Morph Market right now. It is a amazing looking animal.
Dude,
like,
I produced Strangers for the first time this year.
Oh, word?
Yeah. And I made some Orange Dream Stranger Clowns, and I was like, what the? Like, I got one from JP.
Okay.
Reptiles from Jordan. Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan. And
he was in here earlier too.
And again, that was like a $1,500 snake. So again, it's like when I buy stuff, it's like I'm not like I'm gonna go out and pick up, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've dropped big money on snakes before, but it's really just about the gene for me more than anything. And I think I paid $1,500 for that snake for Jordan. And dude, the Orange Dream and Orange Dream Yellow Belly Banana Stranger Clowns I produce are fucking they're off the charts. So I got to go check out that snake.
Yeah, it's
Jordan.
nice.
Jordan is still there. I sent Jordan pictures when they hatched out. I'm like, dude, what was the pairing for the snake? Because like, look at these. Like, what is this? I didn't think they were just Stranger Orange Dream Banana Clowns. I thought it was like another gene, but I think that's all they are. It's just Stranger Orange Dream Banana Clown. And dude, they're phenomenal. So that's what excites me. I just like making badass snakes that look pretty.
Me too.
That's it.
And man, the banana snakes in general, man, they be looking so nice.
Yeah, and I remember, like, I don't know, what was it, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, people were like, oh, the banana is dead. Like, bananas are worthless now. I produce some heat with bananas every year. every year.
Yeah, I love the banana stuff.
Still get real good money for some of these banana combos. So it is what it is.
And it's eye catching too. Like I had a lot of banana stuff at the last series show, and that was the stuff that was getting like the most questions and people asking about it, just kind of standing around hanging, checking out whatnot. Is that banana stuff?
Yeah, that's the stuff that brings new people in. I mean, you know, when you get hardcore like into the genetics, you know, some of this stuff might bore you, but that's the stuff that brings new people in, and just more and more new people coming into the hobby is what elevates everything, pushes everybody's lifts everybody's boat. You know what I mean? So it's really important that we continue to promote the hobby and get new people coming in. And it's a cool hobby. I mean, there's nothing else like it out there.
100%. 100%.
Super OD Monsoon. I don't think anybody's produced Super OD Monsoon. I think I've just seen like a OD Yellow Belly Monsoon. Yeah, I haven't seen supers yet, but you know, hopefully I could produce some soon. I got some Desert Ghost mixed into it. I got some Ultramel mixed into it. So we'll see what happens with that in a couple of years.
Nice. Man, it's been a great show, man. I always appreciate you coming on here, sharing your knowledge, wisdom, understanding about the game. We getting to leverage kind of all the things you've been through and you've kind of picked up over the years. So that's always a good opportunity, good time, man. It's always good catching up with you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is there anything that people should be focused on looking out for coming up soon? You go make it to any shows? I know it's been a hot minute since you've been to a show. Or at least I think
my days are just so packed.
You should come to the South Reptile Expo.
I heard good things about that. Yeah.
You should come. Yeah.
That's in Georgia?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yeah. So yeah, I might be down that way. I know Will is down there now.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna move down there in another couple of years.
You gonna move to Georgia?
Way. Maybe not Georgia, because they don't allow ASFs. It's crazy how
right now these Australian software.
Yeah, but I've been looking at Tennessee, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely gonna be probably moving down south. So okay, I might
to Georgia, because we was talking the other day. We was joking because you know Bob bought some of Corey DeLong collection, or Bob bought Corey's collection, and then like Billy bought like a lot of stuff from Kindred Reptiles, and Billy's in Georgia, and obviously Bob's in Georgia, and then Will just moved to Georgia. So he said Georgia, they squatting up down there. And if you was about to
move, Georgia,
it's over.
Yeah. I'm excited. Over. Yo, I'm excited that Will is here now. So I definitely need to go visit Will. And so Bob, did Corey get out?
Corey DeLong, yeah, he got out. He got out of BallPython. Like he's still working with his chameleons.
Chameleons?
Yeah.
Damn.
And then Jason Kindred. You know Jason Kindred?
I know Jason, yeah.
He sold like most of his collection. He sold it to Billy from Rice Reptiles. You know Billy?
Okay. Yeah, I know Billy. Yeah.
And so
I never met him, but yeah, we've talked and we've done some transactions. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah. That, to me, I'm telling you, that's the sign of the market bottoming. When you hear big names like that, like getting out or downsizing, I think that's the sign. So I don't know. Hopefully things turn around soon. And yeah, maybe I'll get down there to check out that show one day. Definitely, I have zero desire to set up and do a show. But I'm down there all the time now. So, and I'm really ramping up my my portfolio down that way. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the next one is January 31st and February 1st. So that
really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. If I'm down that way, definitely, man, I'll swing by. Dirty
Cool,
South.
man.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, man, it's been a great show. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming
Yeah, it
through.
was
I
great.
appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight, man. Big shout out to Replay Gang. When you're checking out the replay, be sure to leave a comment. Let us know you were here. But that's gonna do it for tonight for Clutch Conversations. I'm Mike. This is the legendary Ozzy. The lovely lady behind the scenes is Takara. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.
Peace. Happy.